Everybody needs to laugh, especially nowadays. And that's why me and my pals are surprising the planet one laugh at a time. We call it Laff Attack. It's a flash mob comedy show coming your way. So join us. Get ready to laugh. It's the Laff Attack.
Centennial, Colorado, just outside of Denver, a growing suburb offering great dining, shopping, recreation, and the occasional surprise comedy show.
People don't know what it takes to, what we go through to actually craft a set that we think will be funny.
What I hate is like when people ask, what do you do for a living? I'm proud to be a comedian, but I just say, oh, I'm in the entertainment business. That's all I say. Because you tell them you're a comic, and they're like, tell me jokes.
Oh, I hate that.
And it's like, if I told you I was a detailer, would you say clean my hubcap?
Well, and that's the thing when you look at even new comics, and it's funny, you hear them and they'll be like, I was just slaughtered on my third show. Oh, and how long were the sets? 2 minutes. In front of all my friends. Oh, okay. Well, let's extrapolate that out to, let's say your 2-minute set is now what? 20 times longer. You got to do 60, and it's a bunch of drunken fools that aren't your friends.
I had a drunk fellow comic heckle me last night.
A fellow comic?
Oh, yeah. I was doing my thing, and he was a little too drunk, a little too high. As you may notice, I don't have the luscious mane that Matt Baca has.
I have noticed that, yes.
He was making fun of your hairline? You have those quick comebacks to people.
But I think we all have 2 or 3 in our head at any given moment. Even though it looks like, boom, it's a spur of the moment.
So why do you guys think people even heckle in the first place? Why do they do that?
I mean, there are many reasons. I mean, one might be they want to be part of the show. I mean, and I was midway through, I paused, and this kid goes, oh dear God, is it over yet? And he slams his head down onto the table. Thump! And I stopped, and I didn't know if it was a heckle or if it was a prayer to God.
That's a tough feeling. I know we've all been there, where you're like, let's say, 10 minutes into your set, but it's a 30-minute set, and you know that it's bombing.
And your time is just...
And so, how do you guys deal with that?
Well, you have, it doesn't matter. It's not like you can say, well, this isn't working, I'll see you guys later.
That's what happened to me. I was doing, it was back to school days at this university, and I don't even think they were paying me, but they said, hey, can you go up there, do some jokes? Nobody was paying attention. I was throwing out jokes. No, it was an open-air mall thing. People were going back and forth. And I remember saying, you know what? If I killed myself right on stage, nobody would care, would they? And everybody just kept,
One of the worst things that happened to me is I was about to play like the venue of a lifetime, a dream. The guy goes out to introduce me. He's in the middle of my introduction, and the lady comes up to me and she's like, oh, by the way, the DUI bit, you can't do that. I'm like, what?
Wow.
You just took a minute and a half out of my 3-minute set that you approved, and now I'm going on stage in like 5 seconds, and I have to just wing it.
Yeah.
I worked with a group in Colorado that worked with the homeless. And they said, we saw your YouTube clips, we love your stuff, hilarious, we do have some qualifications. I was like, yeah, sure, I'm ready to write it down. They said, we'd rather you not do jokes about disabilities, homelessness, ethnicity, or race. And I said, that gives me 3 minutes of hot material.
It was very bright up on the stage, and you can't see people out in the audience. And I'm giving away tickets to something, calling out winners. Called out this winner to come up and get the thing, and they're taking forever to go up to the front. So I said to the mic, come on, hurry up, what are you, blind? And they were blind. Oh. And I felt horrible.
I feel bad for Matt because when I did it, they knew I was going to be there, so actually they got there early. So I had all 10,000.
Yeah, people out in front with signs, right? Giovanni, Giovanni.
No,
they were like, that was the best minute and a half, but I thought he was going to do his DUI bit. This is bogus. I want my money back.
This is good. I hope they start fighting.
Yeah,
you want fighting in a band.
doing this show. It's the middle of winter. We almost get killed pulling into the venue.
Oh God!
I mean, it was like a blizzard.
Well, yeah, it was good weather until what, the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The ice over, and that car comes right into our lane, and we're like, good night, knowing you.
Whoa! Really?
Yeah, and then Matt's like, I wonder if it's just snow or ice. So he taps his brakes. He's like, it's ice.
We start fishtailing, and Ed's like,
Snooze is one of the most popular and busiest brunch locations in the city. These customers have no idea we're coming.
All right. Hello, I see you all got our invitation. Thank you for coming today. Good, all right. So my name is Dan McGowan. I'm the host of the Laff Attack. So we're all waiting to go to Snooze. A great place to eat, right? A great place to eat. But I'm kind of a big guy. I'm trying to lose weight. But it's tough losing weight, especially those last 75 pounds. It's hard. My doctor actually asked me what I was doing for exercise. I told him I like to play golf, but he said, well, maybe you should walk the course. So I tried that, and I was actually surprised at how many things I had missed not having walked the course before. They got windmills, castles, clown nets, right? Yeah. So let me bring up our next comic to tell you some jokes.
oh, it's great. I am a traveling comic, and I just got back to Colorado. I love Colorado. How many of you are native Coloradoans? Or how many of you love Colorado? It's awesome. I love outdoor activities in Colorado, except a few years ago I went rafting. And if you've been rafting lately, here's a tip. Don't go rafting when there's a drought. Yeah, I went a few years ago. We had a drought. Normally it takes 2 hours to get down the Arkansas. It took us 8. Yeah, we were scraping our rear ends on rocks like, ah! Like, I did not make the brochure after Colorado. And our guide, she was really a tough lady. She's like, stroke, stroke, stroke. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm having one. This is awesome. Before I got into comedy, I was a teacher. I taught full-time. Do we have any teachers here? Yes, what do you teach?
I taught 4th grade.
You taught 4th grade. Did you ever substitute teach before you got into the game? What's your name?
Jamie.
Jamie. So Jamie and I will let you in on a little secret. Substitute teachers don't know what they're doing. Did you know that? Because the school board would come to me and they'd say, hey, could you substitute teach an advanced math class? And I was like, yeah, math, fractions, combinators, denominators, and they were like, don't mess around. This is hardcore math. I got to the math class, I opened the book, it looked like the code for the Matrix. I was like, oh, whoa, this is not gonna look good. And, the class that I teach in the summer, it's all international students from all over the world. So I teach this class at CU Boulder, which is pretty cool, and I like to know where my students are from, so I ask them, I say, hey, where are you from in India? Because they're adults, I like to talk to them like this. Where are you from in India? And one of my students says, I am from Indore. And without thinking, I said, Endor, and that's where the Ewoks are from in Return of the Jedi. All right, not too many nerds here in the audience. Let's move on. And I'm single, so a lot of my friends are always setting me up on these blind dates. And so they sent me up on a blind date last year with a single mom from Boulder. And we went out, and she yammered on over lunch to tell me how she named her daughter Emma, after the seminal Jane Austen novel of 18... but I do. I love being in Colorado. I'm trying to get in shape. I tried circuit training. I tried rafting, team building stuff. So my friends are like, hey man, you should try yoga. And she's like, we're gonna do some juicy stretches. We're gonna do some juicy exercises. It's gonna be so juicy. And I'm like, lady, stop using the word juicy. That's weird. She said, listen, we're gonna do some deep stretches. And she says, you're gonna feel your groin yawn. I did that stretch. I got up. I said, miss, my crutch just yodeled. Hey, I'm Matt Baca. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dan.
Matt Baca.
They told me I had to be clean. I said, well, that takes my 60-minute set down to about 30 seconds, so I won't be here that long. But one of the things I want to talk about is, like, I don't know about if you guys feel the same way. It's kind of a rant. Whether it's hot or cold, when you're watching the weather, and they're like, today they'll be like, it's 85 today, but feels like it's 92. right? Do you guys hate that? It's like, well, if it feels like 92, then it's 92 outside, okay? What if we tried to apply that to like other things in our life, you know? Like my banker call, Giovanni, your account's negative $37. I'm like, yeah, but it feels like I have 15,000 in there, man. Can we just do it that way? You know, wouldn't that be awesome? George W. Bush just got his presidential library a few weeks ago, right? $30 million outside of Dallas they spent on this. And I thought, why did they spend $30 million on a presidential library for George W. Bush? You know, what is the point? And then I kept reading the article, and it said, well, all of the works that he accomplished and did while he was president in those 8 years are going to be housed in that library. And so I thought to myself, well, that makes sense, because that's a lot of coloring. You know, that's all I'm saying. And recently, my grandmother passed away, 92 years old. She spent her whole life living in an apartment in New York City, right, in the Bronx. And my family called me, and they said, hey, Gio, you might want to come out to New York and see her. It could be the last time you see her. It turns out it was, so I'm glad I went. And so I went up to her room, and her and I were talking, having a nice conversation. And she looks at me and she's like, I want you to know, out of all the grandkids, no matter what happens to me, if I don't make it out of the hospital, I'm leaving you my farm, all the equipment, the animals, and about $600,000 in cash. Now I'm thinking to myself, she's lived in an apartment in New York City her whole life. So I look at her and I'm like, Grandma, what farm? Where is this farm you keep talking about? And she looked at me with these big brown eyes and she said, Facebook. Thanks, guys. You guys did great.
Giovanni. And folks, again, I want to thank you for being a part of our Laff Attack today. I hope you had a fun time. Hope you enjoyed this.
It's the Laff Attack!
So I'm Dan McGowan with Laff Attack. We were here at Snooze today, bringing them a Laff Attack. Laura is on duty today as the manager. And Laura, tell us a little bit about Snooze. Why should people come to Snooze?
First off, Snooze is an amazing breakfast. It's a very unique breakfast experience that you can get nowhere else in the city. We are locally owned. We are the most sustainable restaurant in the state of Colorado, and we definitely like to give back to our communities as well as our environment. We just get a really great vibe and a really great experience.
So Laura, how long have you worked for Snooze?
3 years.
3 years, and you love this job.
I do. Very much.
You do great. You're just so friendly with people. So if you want a great place to eat, come to Snooze in Centennial.
Yes.
That's it, yeah. And if they want to find you online, or do they need to find you on?
That's snoozeeatery.com.
Snoozeeatery.com. So look them up. Come and eat at Snooze. You'll love it. It's a great place. Laura, thanks so much. I know you got to get back to work.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us come and bring a Laff Attack. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
No, I was doing it. I was going out to open mics, new talent nights, things like that. Wasn't doing anything on the road. Wasn't getting paid for it, and that's all
now you are.
Now I am.
Giovanni, if people wanted to contact you to come and perform, how would they do that?
Well, they can go to comicgiovanni.com. They can go follow me on Twitter at comicgiovanni, or find me on Facebook at comicgiovanni as well.
Now, Matt, what made you want to become a comedian?
I think just I've always been a performer. I've always been an entertainer. As a kid, my parents were like, they'd have little tell jokes, line my family up, and they'd have to listen to my jokes.
Now, Matt, if people wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Just go to my, a couple ways. Go to my website, mattbaca.com. That's M-A-T-T-B as in boy, A-C-A. 1 or 2 T's, not one. If you type in 1 T, it takes you to a Turkish paper mill in Istanbul. Or you can also go to Facebook at Matt Baca Comedy.